dancing on my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. I can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Yeah, 'cause the player's gonna play, 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 play. And the hater's gonna hate, 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 hate. But I'm gonna shake it off. Just gonna shake it off. Heartbreaker's gonna break, 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 break. And the faker's gonna fake, 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 fake. But I'm gonna shake it off. Yeah, just gonna shake it off. I never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet. That's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own. I make the moves up as I go. And that's what they don't know. Yeah, that's what they don't know. Yeah. But I keep cruising. I can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Yeah, 'cause the player's gonna play, 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 play. And the hater's gonna hate, 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 hate. But I'm gonna shake it off. Just gonna shake it off. Yeah, heartbreaker's gonna break, 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 break. And the faker's gonna fake, 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 fake. And I'm gonna shake it off. Baby, I'm just gonna shake it off. Yeah. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Yeah, the player's gonna play, 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 play. And the hater's gonna hate, hate, hate. But I'm gonna shake it off. I'm just gonna shake it off. The heartbreaker's gonna break, 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 break. And the faker's gonna fake, fake, fake. But I'm gonna shake it off. Yeah, I'm gonna shake it off. Yeah, just gonna shake it off. Just gonna. Yeah, just gonna shake it off. Just gonna.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Feedback Fridays. This has become a somewhat regular event here on Fridays. It's been a lot of fun. Seeing new singers, helping you guys get over some of your roadblocks as singers. We have, as usual, quite a few submissions. You guys are figuring it out and you're getting here a little early. And when I post that email, you're on it, which is really cool. So we are going to get into it. Hey, everybody. Chicken Benjamin, hi. Good to see you. Benjamin has been around taking courses, and we've been doing stuff for a long time. Oh, Elijah, well, cool. Catch you later. All right. Let's see here. This is an attachment. Let's see if I can. This one's from Steph. And little part of Bring Me the Horizon she's been working on. Let's see. Just getting started with the scream type sounds. Do I have any recommendations for how to combine scream and singing, especially on high notes? Even after watching your videos, I'm still only getting harsh and too tight of the scream. Okay. It's like I can't place it right. Yeah, placement, that's the key, right? The key is the placement. Let's get this maximized here. Let's see. I think this is going to be, there we go. We can get a little bigger, but we can't full screen it. So we'll just have to do this. Here we go.
Eve, got a feeling in your stomach, cause I know that it's coming for you. Leave me floods and grief. Don't forget what I told ya. When we forget the infection, will we remember the lesson? If the suspense doesn't kill you, something else will.
Yeah. I want to hear that beginning again here. Right there. She's got some of it. Very good. Well, let's talk about placement. It's I think you're starting to get it. We'll talk about placement a little bit here. The key is, especially with this kind of grit, we have to make sure that it's additive, that it's not happening because we're trying to distort the original sound. I mean, we are distorting the eventual sound, but if we think about it as additive, we can maintain that pitch sort of literally underneath the grit. So if I do this, hey, that's a clean note. And then if I think about adding compression, I start with the idea of adding compression before I think about grit, because compression, clean compression, is the precursor to healthy and good, long-lasting grit. So if I go, hey, and I compress it, I'm not changing what I'm doing in my vocal cords. I am holding back air with the area above my vocal cords. Hey! And then as I learn to hold back more air to the point at which my upper throat sort of starts to freak out, which is okay if it's separate from my vocal cords. Hey! I get that. And that's happening above my vocal cords. It's happening up here in my upper throat, in the false chord area. See how I got that? And you practice moving that around. So what we need to do, we need to look at it as a process. If we can get clean, a note clean, hey! And then we can add compression on top of that. and then work with the amount of air we're using along with the amount of false chord squeeze we're using. That's what's going to help us get there. But we have to look at it as that process. We're adding compression. That compression becomes more extreme or hyper, and then that turns into grit as we learn the feel. If you try to go straight there, though, you end up going too hard on your chords, and it doesn't end up having the results that you want it to because you have a lot of tension. Now, she's doing it at the beginning, but I think as she tries to get more of it, she might be thinking too hard or trying to go straight there. Great submission, and your tone sounds really good, and you got a really nice gritty sound at the beginning. Here's how to do it a bit more consistently. All right, thank you. Next. So hopefully that was helpful for all of you wanting to add grit. Okay. I'm going to do another attachment here. And this is from Antonio, big fan of the channel from Spain. Hello. Give me some feedback on a fragment of a song that you had written and produced a couple of months ago. Cool. I'd be interested in how to push forward the higher notes of this part of the song, because sometimes I struggle so much to reach them with my voice and it gets tired. It requires a lot of effort. Okay, cool. So how to reach higher notes in this particular area of the song. And I can maximize this one. Here we go. Antonio, everybody.
Y si el espacio se encogió y todo ahora es una fracción minúsculo y pequeño, universo interior. Déjame volver, aunque no mucho en mí. Déjame sentir toda la vida al fin. Déjame volver, aunque no mucho en mí. Déjame sentir toda la vida.
Very nice. Nice tone. It's a nice open throat sound. La, la, la. There are the notes, and he's wanting to be able to I think his words were, let me look here. Push into them? Did he use the word push? Particularly interested in how to push forward. Okay, that's very different than push into. Yeah, very good sound. Very good production. Nice tone. So your sound is very open, and that's very good. La 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 long. And if you want to get these a little bit more forward, and forward can mean a lot of things, right? Getting the vowel placement more forward, changing your resonance so that it's more in the front of your face. Your resonance, because you have a dropped larynx, la, 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 is you're resonating more back in your throat, which can be a good sound, but it isn't going to be quite as powerful because, and the mic eats this up. When you're able to bring your resonance forward, let me demonstrate. And I'm just going to say la, or maybe I'll make up a phrase because I want to be comfortable with the words. That's a big part of being forward. Let's see. Let me look and see. Is that basically the vowels he was using? Look at the paper bag. That's what I'm going to say. Look at the. Now, if I say, let's take the. Look at the. See how it's still back in my throat? Ah! Ah! I have placed it more nasal. I am consciously thinking about putting the sound in my nose. At the same time, I'm directing my resonance from feeling the sensation in my soft palate, resonating there, to feeling a ball. And I've done a YouTube video on this. This is how to belt. I'm feeling like a ball of energy in the front of my mouth. And one of the things I suggest on the channel is this. Put a bit of water underneath your tongue. Ah! Keep your tongue loose. Ah! 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 If you feel the resonance getting to that little bit of water and you are able to keep your tongue loose enough to not squash that water and spill water all over your face, then you have created that forward resonance. And you go from, look at the paper bag, which sounds good. It really sounds good. What you're doing is not wrong, and it really works for the style of music. But if you do want to push more forward and have a bit more aggression, an extreme would be, look at the paper bag. That's really, forward and nasal and brash. We want to be able to explore those extremes, but we don't want to, we want to explore the extremes for sure. But we always want to find a balance in tone and resonance that works with the genre that we're working. So I'd encourage you to play with that. Consciously, mentally place things forward. Look at water, tongue, loose tongue. Look at the paper bag. Look at the paper bag. There's a nice balance. That also, combined with moderating your airflow, we tend to use more air sometimes to compensate for the fact that it's harder to get the resonance out when we're singing darker and focusing the resonance more in the back of our throat. It's also easier to tense the back of our tongue. Look at the paper bag! Look at the paper bag! That's a lot. I feel like the air moves more freely when I have allowed my resonance to transfer forward. So hopefully that's helpful. Thank you for the submission. Cool song. Okay, next. Okay, Carlo. Hello, I'm a beginner. Overall evaluation, hints, tips. Recording isn't the best, but I think it'll be okay. I recorded and edited on my phone. Totally fine. Cool. Okay, we got a YouTube video this time. He's from Croatia. Here we go. This is great. Peter Bailey asks, do I do voice lessons on Zoom? I don't use Zoom, I use Skype. And I offer private sessions as part of my course. You have the option to join with a version that allows for a private consult. So that question creates a good opportunity for me to say that what I do here and what I do really for a living is coach people in how to sing, how to discover your voice, how to create sounds and experiences with your human instrument, with your voice, that you didn't know you could do. And I don't just do this on YouTube. I have a full-blown, intensive 12-week journey that helps you through in a systematic way how to discover these things. And it works on an invitation-only basis. And yes, you can sign up for a private coaching session in that as well. If you're interested, go to this link. and request an invitation to the course. I open and close the course. I allow a certain number of people in at a time so I can be more personally attentive to the needs and questions and submissions of people working with me through the material. So go there. It doesn't hurt. You can request an invitation, and when slots open up, you'll receive emails letting you know that enrollment is open, and then you'll get more information about it. But you can read more about the course there. Okay, so let's go here to Carlo. And here we go. A little tough to hear here, but yeah, I'm using the right audio. He said it was hard to understand. Let's go back to the beginning here. I can hear a little bit better. So this is really tough to hear exactly what's going on, and I hear layers to the video. But I am going to go off of some of the things that I hear and use this as an opportunity to talk about versatility and exploration over accuracy. Because one of the reasons I'm going to do this is because he said that he's looking for overall evaluations. One of the things that I hear that he's doing really well here is he's not afraid to just be expressive. You know, he's having a conversation, or there's multiple conversations going on in this particular sample. If I'm going to say the phrase, "This microphone is really cool," I can say "this microphone is really cool" in a lot of different ways and have it mean a lot of different things, right? I can say, "This microphone is really cool." I'm saying the same words, but I'm expressing, you get the sense of sarcasm, right? Well, I don't actually think this microphone is really cool. I could say, "This microphone is really cool." You'd be like, wow, he's really into this microphone. I could say, "This microphone is really cool." Oh, I'm very definitive and confident that this microphone is really cool. What I hear Carlo doing, and what I think that a lot of us, when we're first starting out in our singing, miss, is we go for the okay, I need to hit the pitch, I need to be accurate, I need to be good, and we forget about being expressive. "This microphone is really cool." Oh, great, I hit some pitches. But how many different ways, and this goes for all instruments, right? Like if I am recording a guitar line and I'm playing notes, those notes can either be boring or expressive. "This microphone is really cool. This microphone is really cool. This microphone is really cool." I mean, I can do all sorts of things just by being Expressive. So I want to encourage you in that, Carlo. I'd like to encourage all of us in that. Don't just think about the notes and how you can hit them. Think about how you're communicating when you sing, because communicating is what we're doing. So we have to think about how. I deleted your Facebook account a long time ago. How active is that Facebook group? The Facebook group has been really active. We just hit 1,000 members on the Facebook group. People are posting stuff all the time, getting feedback from other people too, including me. It's really been awesome. So I encourage you to request an invitation also to my closed Facebook group, the My Musical Voice Singing Group. You can go to my website and you can find how to join the Facebook group there. My website is chrislipe.com. Same place that you may have just requested an invitation to the course. I'll paste that link in here again. So after you request an invite, head over and join the Facebook group. Okay, expressive singing, and I'll pay more attention to the I'll pay more attention to the chat here at the end, and we'll open it up and do a few questions also. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Just like to give people this feedback in a timely manner. Okay, here we go. Peter Soar. I recognize this name. He's been trying to submit for a while, but was too late, and he got it. He got in the top 5. Congratulations, Peter. Let's see here. Trying to put more chest voice in. Tried not to let any air get wasted before and after he initiated the tone. Felt like I could get more support by doing that. I felt like maybe I was pushing too hard because I was concentrating on something new. Looked like my tongue started doing the old habit of retracting. The last spontaneous line felt like the support was a bit crappy. What do I say? Ooh, Ronnie Radke. Yes, I do need to do something. I do need to do a video on him. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing this, Peter. Here we go.
You're smooth.
Pretty.
As a Tennessee whiskey.
Nice articulation.
You're sweet as a strawberry wine.
Nice vibrato. Nice tone.
You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And I don't know the next line.
Good mix.
So I'll just make something up.
Don't know the next line. Very good. Very good mixing. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. So I want to talk about these lines. He's doing a great job. Great job, Peter. Articulation, vibrato. It sounds and looks like you're handling your voice very, very well. What we want to do to kind of take this to the next level, and I'm going to go look at your feedback here, or your request for feedback, make sure I'm on point. That was Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton. Let's see. Concentrating. Try to put more chest voice in. Yep. But you're thinning out nicely as you go higher. We want to get a bit more. We want to start working more with compression in order to get that slightly broken up sound, right? So if we take that line, I was warm. Just take that little piece of it, right? It's a glass of brandy. It's hard not to want to sing more of it, for sure. Let's go up to the warm. You thinned out nicely. Warm would be another way you can do it. If we make that note brasher, and Chris Stapleton will do this too, you approached it more from the yawn perspective, the open throat perspective, which is really good. It's just harder to get brasher and grittier that way. If we can take the dying cat approach, like I've talked about on the channel many times before, we can initiate the same sort of compression-based squeeze that we do in our lower range, right? So if we go, excuse me. I have a bit of a cold. I'm singing through that a little today. You're as warm. There's one. Okay. It's thinner. It's good. This is also thinner. You're as warm. Brasher. Row, warm. Right? I'm taking it to an extreme. Now we're going to add compression to that. You're as warm. Warm as a glass of brandy. Hear the difference? I am able to, by going more nasal, and more brash, I'm bringing the sound forward, which is allowing more of the air that I use to count. It's coming out of my face. It's not getting trapped in the back. This allows me to add more support, compress a bit more, and get that nice semi-broken up tone. That's really the next step that we want to go for. So let me go through those steps again for you. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Now, at the very end, you hear me bring it forward. Glass of brandy. Yeah. Okay, let's take that. Oh, you're as warm as a glass of brandy. And I'm tempering it so it doesn't sound, as I learn to moderate that airflow, I'm able to moderate the tone so it doesn't sound like this. You're as warm as a glass. Like if I just kept with the cat, it would sound like that. But we have to explore the extremes so we know where to go. Great submission. Beautiful voice, Peter. Love to work with you further. Love to have you in the course one of these days. Here's the invitation to the course one more time, just in case. There you go. Yeah, it does. Brashness absolutely helps with compression because it allows you to bring the sound forward. You get more out of the energy you're already using. Okay. Delano, Prashant actually says compression makes your throat sore. That is because you're not getting the sensation high enough in your throat. If you're able to make it higher, it's going to feel like a little bit of heat, but it's not going to be sore. So Delano says, looking for general feedback, little concerned that the mouth may be open too wide, but he didn't leave a link. There it is. Okay. We got the link. I feel like I'm pretty good at minimizing tension, but that wide mouth could be an issue. Maybe mouth tension is an issue, but opening your mouth too wide isn't necessarily a bad thing. Let's see what happens. System of a Down. Awesome. Very cool, Delano. We go back to the feedback here again. I don't think your mouth opening too wide is an issue at all. You don't look tense. I like the blend between the singing and, you know, you have the singing guy and you have the screaming guy. This is, to me, it reminds me of kind of a System of a Down-ish vibe. And you've got this more controlled sound. I'm falling down with it. You're falling down to the ground. What I would say here, if there's any bit of, maybe a next level thing to go for, I love the way that things are. They're frantic on purpose, right? You've got this happening, and then you've got the screamy guy over here. It would be interesting to have moments where things really, really came together. So we have and I'm only looking at a small portion of it, but we have this idea that we have franticness, and then we have calculatedness going in. So if I'm saying these words, falling down to the ground, falling down to, or, you know, maybe a little bit more spazzy even, falling down to the ground, falling down to the ground. And then we have this guy over here, you know, falling down to the ground, falling down. Have those rhythms meet together. Have them have these sort of cornerstones where we're going off, we're exploring, we're frantically going about our business, and then they converge. I think that will create a hookiness to the arrangement. I think that will create an earworm. People are going to remember more about the song. Any tips on pitch? I think that let me listen one more time to the beginning of this.
Can't you see the handwriting on the wall? And on the autumn leaves that fall. Ooh, what are we gonna do? Start giving up on us.
For what you're doing, the pitch accuracy works pretty well. For tips on improving your pitch, I would try to be more repetitive. And this goes back into what I was talking about earlier. Choose a hook. What is something more simple that you can say? What is something more simple in terms of melody line that you can repeat over and over again? I work with this with instrumentalists too. You know, if I say that I'm going to keep singing and I will keep articulating and doing more of this, my pitch might be okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but there's nothing for me to reach on and reach out and grab onto. Whereas if I have a repetitive, hooky line, that is going to help me solidify my pitch, and my pitch doesn't even have to be that great in order to get it to stick in your mind. Think about Tom Petty, who doesn't have the greatest pitch. But he's got, I'm free falling. Like, when I sing it, I'm way more accurate pitch-wise than he is. But because we, la da da da, da 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 da, la da 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 da. You see how I'm repeating that line? Da da da. Those notes are in there over and over again. That is going to help you to a huge degree. It's not so much a pitchiness issue, although you can get better with your pitch if you work on creating simpler melodies, simple intentional melodies. So that's what I'd say. And I know that's kind of a backdoor answer in a way, like, but it really will help. If you want to improve your pitch, simplify what you're singing first. That's the first rule of improving your pitch. Okay. Great, guys. Okay. Here we go. Here's the last one. Oh, yeah, the John Mayer cover for Free Fallin' is awesome. Mike Wilson didn't leave any particular requests, but he has a YouTube link here. Let's check it out. Ooh, Candlebox. Oh, we got a whole sample here. Let's see here. Babe, so maybe. Cool. I'm going to skip to some of the other parts here. Great job so far. It's a tough song to sing. There we go. Yeah. I want to go back here. Yeah, but you left me far behind. So mad. I didn't mean to treat you all so bad, but you couldn't stand the pain. Okay, Candlebox. First of all, excellent job covering this song, at least the parts that I saw. I'm gonna zero in on a couple little areas here that you've done, and I'm gonna talk about overall tone. Spacing the singer's name right now for Candlebox. If anybody knows it, put it in the chat. But he uses a very forward sound. You know, if we go back to the beginning, the placement, right, good, Mike. He says he can't figure out placement to get grit without engaging my primary chords. Your key is going to be brightening up like the singer of this song does. I'll take you through that. You, in the key, it's when you're lower. I didn't mean to treat you bad. But if you listen carefully to the way the song is sung in the original, and we don't always want to be imitating, but let's just take that one line. I didn't mean to treat you bad. I didn't mean to treat you bad. Extreme. I didn't mean to treat you bad. That's like and she's buying a stairway. Like that. And she's didn't mean to treat you. And I realize that I'm being really extreme with my tone. But listen to what this frees me up to do. I didn't mean to treat you. I'll get the key again here. But I did it anyway. Yeah, but I did. Notice the brashness and nasalness? Now, I'm gonna compress that brashness and nasalness. Yeah. Oh, but I couldn't stand the pain. Still maybe a bit brash, but then I can darken it up because I've gotten that resonance and I've learned how to compress with that brashness. Yeah! Listen to this sound. Yeah! But I couldn't stand the pain. No. But I couldn't stand the pain. No. And I can always darken it back down when I am handling those other notes, right? Because we don't always want to be singing like this and whining. Although the lead singer for Candlebox does this very much so. I mean, if I were to pain, so maybe didn't mean to treat you bad. That's what he would be doing. That makes that brashness. Oh yeah, don't listen to the don't be nasal. That's the worst advice for any rock singer ever. Be nasal. Be brash. Be yeah. It's going to open so much of your voice up when you learn how to be forward and nasal and not oh. I cover this a lot more, how to get these placements, how to go extreme with them, but also how to dial them back in my course. We explore lots of different exercises, short phrases, ways to resonate, ways to really figure out how to resonate in your face. If you are at a place where you would like to take your singing up a notch and you'd like to help, and you'd like my help doing that in a deeper level. I mean, these are great, but it's kind of a wild card thing, right? You may or may not get feedback because we're only doing 5, and it's not consistent. If you'd like more help going through a system that will help you unlock some of the things that we've talked about in this particular session, consider requesting an invite to the course. Yeah, Nothing But Thieves. Connor Mason is an amazing vocalist. Great job with your submissions today, guys. Great job. Hang out here for a few minutes for questions. Don't be nasal is a call to war for you. It is. It's because I think so many people, in fact, I was told a long time ago that as someone from she was a vocal coach, and I was young. I was probably in my early teens singing, and she said, you have a nasal sound to your voice that we'll work on to get rid of. And of course, I'm like 13, 14. I don't know anything. And so I was afraid of sounding nasal. And really, it's not even that I was afraid of sounding nasal. It's that I became afraid of my voice, right? Because someone said I sounded nasal and that nasal was bad. So I was afraid to sound, ugh. We shouldn't be afraid to sound anything. We should be excited to create with our voice. It's that perspective that when someone says, "Oh, I don't want to sound nasal," it's just probably the most unhealthy way to approach or think about your voice. So, One Yellow Peacock asks, any tips on how to get loud with fry and the voice? So I've done a video on this on the channel. The word fry, this is fry, vocal fry. Fry is not going to be loud. And check out my video on the channel, Fry versus screaming, Fry versus Fry screaming. Fry. Fry is not ever going to be loud. Fry is a loose coordination with your vocal cords. But learning how to use vocal fry is a precursor to learning how to use compression. Learning how to place things differently in your throat because you're not engaging your primary chords as much. So if you are fry, compression, fry, compression, if you can get that down, you're able to sing louder, yeah, with compression. That, what I just added there, yeah, that's not, that breaky sound, it's not vocal fry. It's false chord engagement. If we're really talking about terms, I hate terms, but if we're really talking about terms, yeah, that is false chord engagement on top of good closure. If I'm doing that and I combine that with false chord engagement, I get a pitchless sound. Yeah! Right? There's no pitch because I'm doing at the same time as and I'm adding a lot of support behind it. So the term fry scream, well, I think it has its place, can be really confusing because fry is never going to be loud. I've done a video on that on the channel that goes into more detail. But fry is an important gateway to discovering how to use your voice with compression and loudness and all that stuff. How can you sing high and low without losing tune? You know, that's a good question. I think that one of the best things that I do to maintain my whole range, my whole voice, is I utilize my head voice a ton. In fact, that's how I warm up. I've done another video on the channel about my daily warm-up routine you should check out. Don't pressure yourself to always do everything loud. Don't be afraid of your head voice. Listen to Connor Mason, Jeff Buckley, Chris Cornell. They utilize their whole range over a lot of different ways. I want to address this real quick. Could I review a song real quick and skip to the bridge? Miscellaneous inputs. I don't want to review a song live like that because I may get a copyright strike. I have to make sure that when I call something up that I'm reviewing a small enough amount and that I am doing something that isn't going to get my video taken down or blocked in certain areas. I love reviewing stuff, but if you notice on my sing-like videos, I do very short snippets, and I know what those snippets are, so I don't include too much of the song and then have a problem with the video. It's demoralizing to put a video up and then realizing that I can't use it. And a lot of times, it's less than 4 seconds that you can include. David Robert asks, do you have any advice on how to bridge the gap between head voice and chest voice? Absolutely. Check out any of my videos on mixed voice on the channel. Yes, it will be archived. Yeah, check out any of my videos on the channel about mixed voice. That will help you in a major way bridging the gap between head and chest voice. Also, I've done another video, David, called falsetto versus head voice versus mixed voice versus chest voice. It's one of my most popular videos on the channel. That's going to help you work with blending and using your resonances together. Yeah, the strikes are a bummer, and you just have to be really careful about how you use other people's content. How do I pick out which vocal effects to use in a given situation? Delay, reverb, etc. If you're covering a song, Gloom, I take a lot of inspiration from listening to isolated vocals on YouTube. You can just go in, and I've done some of these evaluations on my channel of people, like look up like Chris Cornell isolated vocals or, Adam Lambert isolated vocals. And you can hear what they're doing, and then you can play with your own plugins and do things in a way that sort of has inspiration from what they're doing. Lots of fun. Hey, love your videos. Hi from Argentina. Your opinion on Glenn Hughes. Love Glenn Hughes. I will eventually do a Glenn Hughes video. He's a great aggressive mixed voice. I put him, of course Cornell is my favorite, but Sammy Hagar, Glenn Hughes, Chris Cornell. I mean, they have that upper chesty mix down. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out for another Feedback Fridays. We'll catch you live, same time, same place, next Friday. If you are interested in checking out my course, go here, request an invitation. There's the link, and you'll be invited when slots open up, and I'm able to give you the attention that you deserve as you discover more about your voice. I love these Feedback Fridays. Thank you for the submissions. Thank you for the bravery you exhibit and the willingness to let me unpack what you're doing and offer suggestions. It's a lot of fun. We'll see you next week.